Listen, man, you've been told, you've been lied to, that us men should be always going after our goals, always setting goals and always going after them, always doing our best to accomplish our goals. But here's the thing, and you might think I'm crazy when I first say this, but if you hear me out on this one, I'm telling you, when I started doing this right here changed the game for me. And not only did it help me to surpass my goals, meaning reach them but also go farther beyond, but it's also helped me to take down my own stress and disappointment in myself for trying so hard to reach goals. You've been told and lied to that goals, right? Us men, we got to go after goals. We got to chase goals. We got goals. Everything is stinking goals. What's your goal? Go after it. But have you ever thought about, instead of focusing so hard on the goal, so darn hard in it, have you ever thought about building a system of endless maximum progress that will get you to your goals without you even thinking about it, and also surpass your goals? And this is what I mean, right? Because I remember I used to always set goals for everything. You know what I'm talking about? When I'd go to the gym before I started doing calisthenics, I'd be like, okay, I have to get 8 reps on this thing, and I have to do 5 sets of this thing, and I have to be 140 pounds by, the end of the next couple months, and I have to be 150 by this time, and I have to be 160 by this time, and I have to do this, and the goals were just everywhere. I became so goal obsessed that I didn't become necessarily obsessed with the journey itself or the tasks that I got to do to get me to those goals, because I was just so focused on those goals that's all that mattered. And here's the thing, right? Is number one, if I did not reach my goals, if I didn't get to the certain weight that I wanted to be, if I didn't do the certain amount of reps I wanted to, if I didn't do, this or that, or I didn't, finish the schoolwork in a certain amount of time, or if I didn't, find a good girlfriend by this amount of time, what would happen if I didn't reach those goals is I would be disappointed in myself, and I would think that I'm a loser and I'm a failure, even though I wouldn't actually look at all the progress that I've made, right? Because even though I never hit my goals, a lot of the times, yeah, there were some times where I did, but there was also a lot of times where I didn't. I would always look at myself as a loser and a failure when I never hit those goals, instead of actually looking at myself for what I was, and that was, I'm doing good, man, because I'm making progress. Yeah, sure, I didn't hit the exact goals that I wanted exactly when I set them, but you know what? I made some progress, and that's what matters. And then when I would hit my goals, it's like the system would just end. Oh, I got 8 reps, okay, I'm done. Oh, I did 5 sets, okay, I'm done. Oh, yeah, I got a girlfriend, okay, we're good. Instead of focusing on making max progress. Sure, I did 8 reps, but I could have done 9 or 10 if I kept pushing. Yeah, sure, I did 4 sets, but maybe I could have done 5 or 6. Yeah, sure, I reached 140 pounds by this amount of time, but maybe I could have kept gaining more weight if I just kept doing what I was doing, except doing it better. I could have had a better relationship if I wasn't so focused on just getting a girlfriend and rather just finding the right girl, right? So that's the thing, right? It's everything in life, and especially fitness too, but everything in life, man. It's like if you set goals, there's a downside. Is that number one, when you reach them, you pretty much just say, all right, that's it, stop it here. When in reality, you could have kept going and doing more. I guarantee you could have kept going and doing a lot more than what you're currently doing. And number two, if you don't reach your goals, then you end up being disappointed in yourself and hating yourself instead of looking at the progress that you actually made. And so whether you reach your goals or not, there's a little downside to it, right? There's a kind of crappy downside that you don't even really think about. So here's what I started doing. Instead of thinking about, I started getting so annoyed with goals that I couldn't take it anymore. I was either disappointed in myself or I knew that I could have done more, but I didn't because I hit my goals. So goals were never working out for me. And then I came to the realization that they're really not that great. So what I've done actually for a little while now, because I don't remember the last time I actually set a goal for myself, but what I've been doing instead of that is setting systems of maximum progress. For my workouts, instead of saying I have to hit this amount of reps, I keep repping out until my body can't rep no more. Instead of saying I have to do this amount of sets, I keep going until until my body's basically saying, hey, Justin, we're done here. Instead of, trying to find a girlfriend, I'm trying to find the right girl, man. The right girl whom I can build a good, long-lasting relationship with. And if things don't work out, then you know what? Then I just move on to the next one. Instead of saying, I have to find this girlfriend, and my goal is she has to be this, and she has to look like this, and she has to... No. Whoever God's got in store for me. Whoever I feel God calling me to. With anything in life, man. I just set systems of maximum progress. You want to work, you want to build muscle? That's great. Forget about exactly how many reps you should do and exactly how many sets. You know what you should do? Just make sure you're hitting all your muscle groups every week. Make sure you're hitting all your muscle groups every week. And every workout that you do, just give it your absolute all. Keep going until your body says, hey, we're done here. You know, not when you start feeling tired or when you've hit that magical number of 8 reps or 10 reps or whatever. No, because realistically, yeah, sure, 8 reps may be a good number, but you could have done 9 or 10 or 11. There's been countless times where I look back and I'm like, I know I could have done more reps. There's been countless times. And you know what? If there were some times where I didn't hit that 8 rep goal, then I would be disappointed in myself. Even if I gave it my absolute all. And if you give it your absolute all, there is no reason why you should feel disappointed in yourself whatsoever. If you give it your all, your maximum, you give it everything that you got, even if you didn't hit a certain goal that you made up in your head, or someone else told you that you have to hit, otherwise you're a failure. Just because you didn't hit that doesn't mean that you didn't do anything. My man, you gave it your all. You're making progress, man. That's what matters. And when you set goals, if you don't hit them, then what happens is you just be disappointed in yourself and you never look at the progress that you actually made. And if you do hit them, then that's great, but it's possible you could have gone farther, but because you hit your goal, you thought that was the finish line, even though the finish line was a little bit farther, because you could have kept running a bit farther. You understand what I'm trying to say? Do you understand why goals suck? And I don't mean that in a mean or derogatory or demeaning way to anyone who has goals. Like, yes, like, you know, if there's a certain goal in life, like, hey, you know, I want to get this career, or I want to get this degree, or I want to get this house. Like, that's different because it's not really a maximum progress kind of thing, right? It's like, dude, that's a house I like. I want to get this house. That's the degree I want to get. Okay, that's not really a maximum progress thing, you know? So those kind of goals, yes, they're good. They make sense because when you reach them, you've made maximum progress, right? When you get that degree, you've done all you need to do. When you get that house, you've done all that you need to do. When you, like when you get married to your wife and you take care of her and stuff like that, it's like that you've done all you need to do, right? But I'm talking about things where you could just keep going and going and going, and there really is no ending finish line. There really is no ending finish line. And again, with working out, man, you can keep going as long as you can until your body says, hey, I'm done. So instead of looking at goals as this or that or a certain number or a certain amount of time or whatever, just say, I'm going to keep going until I can't no more. That should be your goal with everything. I'm going to make the maximum progress with everything. I'm going to give it my all with everything. If you're going to set goals, then your goals should be, I'm going to give it my all with everything. I'm going to make maximum progress with everything. I'm going to do the best I can with everything. And yeah, even if I don't get to exactly where I want to be in a certain amount of time, I'm still going to look back and be proud of myself for the progress I made. But if I get to where I want to be and I can keep going farther, I'm going to keep going farther because my goal is maximum progress. It's like when you think about Clash of Clans or like a game like that, right? If you ever used to play, I love that game, man. That was such a fun game in my childhood. I don't remember the last time I played. I'll have to like re-download it eventually and see like where I was at. But remember, like you know, you would always just want to make max progress. You want to just keep leveling up and leveling and leveling and leveling until you literally cannot level up your thing anymore. Until you have to wait for an update for the next level of something to come out. That's how you want to do life, man. It's not about certain numbers or certain time periods or certain this or certain that. It's about, are you giving it your all? Are you doing your best? Are you making the maximum progress that you personally can make? And as long as you're giving it your all with everything and doing your absolute best, then my man, you're making as much progress as you possibly can. And that's the best goal out there. It's much better to say, hey, I'm going to do as many reps as I can, rather than saying, yeah, I'm going to do 8 reps and call it a day. It's much better just to, to say, hey, I'm going to go find the girl that God has in store for me, or I'm going to go where God tells me to go, or I'm going to stay where God wants me to stay as long as possible, rather than, yeah, God, I'm giving you 10 days. Yeah, God, I want this kind of girl. I want this kind of girl. Yeah, God, this, no. This, clearly that ain't how God works. It's like, it's on his time. It's on his will. And again, the guy who went, who dropped everything to move to California, if he didn't give himself a certain time limit, if he just said, I'm going to stay here either until I strike gold or until God tells me, hey, pack your bags, we're going. Right? If that's what he did, right? He said, hey, I'm either going to stay here until I strike gold or until God tells me, hey, time to pack up and go. Rather than just saying, yeah, I'm giving myself this amount of time. That's my goal. Then he would have had to dig a couple more feet, he would have struck gold. Isn't that something? If you say to yourself, I'm going to get 8 reps. That's great, but you get 8 reps and then you stop, even though in the back of your mind you could have kept going more. Go more, man. Go more. Give it your all. Give it your best with everything. You want to make a goal with anything? Forget certain numbers or certain time periods or certain this or that. Your goal with everything should be best maximum progress. That's it. That is it. And ever since I've made that my goal for everything is just best and maximum progress. That's literally my goal for everything. I don't even think about it. I just have systems in place that help me to do that each and every day. Again, when I work out, I have like my certain workout routine. I have certain things I remember. How can I make this the best workout possible? How can I make the best, becoming a better man video possible? How can I help people the best possible? How can I build my relationships the best possible? How can I have the best time with God possible? How can I go to work and have the best day possible? That's all my goals are. There are no numbers. There are no time periods. There are no this or that or this or that. Everything you got to just constantly think about, and your mind's all over the place. You can't even enjoy the process because you're so focused on reaching the goals. When your goal simply becomes make it the best I can, do the best I can, maximum progress, make the most of your time, the time that God has blessed you with, that you have limited here on this earth. When you make your goal just literally do the best I can with everything, and you actually do it, that's where things get good. And again, you set systems in place instead of just goals themselves. Like, forget goals. Set the systems in place that are going to help you make that maximum progress. Do things that are going to help you make that maximum progress as your goal. That's where things get even better. So I don't go around my days thinking about, I got to hit this goal and do this and do this. I just think to myself, I'm going to have the best workout possible. I'm going to have the best time with God possible. I'm going to make work the best possible. I'm going to build the best relationships possible. And I just do whatever I need to do in order to do that. And along the way, along the journey of life, I just follow God, do what he tells me the best I can. And it feels a lot more free because it's taking down a lot more of my stress now that I'm not constantly thinking about certain numbers or time periods or this or that, right? All I'm thinking about is do the best I can. Taking down a lot of my stress, made things a lot simpler and cleaner, and has also just helped me to even beat a lot of my goals that I used to have in the past and just go farther than what I had my goals at. And when I don't reach what I had certain goals at in the past, I'm not disappointed in myself because I actually look back and I say, hey, nice job at the progress you made, Justin. We can do better, but hey, nice job at the progress. Let's do better. All because I don't have goals. My only goal, do the best I can with everything. But like, that's not even a goal. It's a lifestyle. That's it. It's not even a goal. It's a lifestyle. You make that your lifestyle, that's where things get real good for you. So take this, remember it, and do something great with it. And in the meantime, let's go work out. I'm going to tell you this too before we get to working out here. If you don't give it your all, you'll never know how far you could have gotten. If you just give it 80% or 70% because you reached your goal or whatever, it's like you could have went farther, but you'll never know how far you could have gotten if you don't constantly give it your all. If you quit before you reach the point you want to reach, or before you accomplish what you want to accomplish, whatever, all because your goal was I had to reach it in this time, but because I didn't reach my goal, I'm just going to quit it now. If you quit, you'll never know how far you could have gotten or if you could have ever accomplished it. So again, forget about goals. Forget about do this in this amount of time or accomplish this, do this much progress in this by this date or whatever. It's like, no. Instead, just do the best you can with everything. Give everything your all. Give everything your max progress. Give it as much time as you could possibly give it until either A, you get to where you're trying to get, or B, God steers you another direction. But again, if you quit, or if you only give it 80%, or if you whatever, you'll never know how far you could have gotten. That's why max progress, max amount of time, max everything. It's so important, because only then, when you give it your absolute all with everything, whether you reach your goal or not, when you just give it your all for everything, then, and only then, will you know how far you could actually get, because you gave it your all. And there's nothing to ever, even if you don't reach your goals, if you gave it your all, there's no reason you should ever be disappointed in yourself. And if you do reach your goals by giving it your all, you could potentially surpass your goals by a lot, if you give it 100% rather than 80% or whatever. Bottom line, don't get down on yourself if you don't accomplish your goals. Don't stop even if you hit your goals. Keep going. And better yet, just don't set goals. Just make the lifestyle of maximum progress for everything and do the best you can for everything, because then and only then will you know how far you could truly get. You know, wouldn't you want your goal to be to do the best you can do anyway? You know, instead of making it this or that, wouldn't you want your goal to always be do the best I can? That's just how you max out your life, man. That's how you max out progress. I'm not going to go on Clash of Clans saying, hey, my goal is to get to Town Hall level 9 or whatever. I'm going to say, my goal is to max out my dang base. Then I'll be the best on the stinking leaderboard. And that was back then, of course. Unless one day I were to really miss my childhood, re-download the game and start playing again. But, you know, if I had the time for that, that would be pretty nice. But I don't, so. But I'm talking about back then. I never once thought to myself, hey, I'm going to play Super Mario Bros. And my goal is to reach World 7. I'm going to play Clash of Clans. My goal is to get to Town Hall level 8. I'm going to play, you know, whatever. And my goal is to only complete half the game or 80% of the game. No, every game I played, I wanted to get max progress. I wanted to get all 5 stars on the Mario Bro Wii file. I wanted to get the maximum Town Hall if it didn't take so dang long on Clash of Clans. I wanted to get max progress for everything. And when you apply that to your life, then you'll be able to do the best and live the best that you can, because you're giving it your best, which is the best that you can do. So remember that. Okay, here we are. And today is a good old-fashioned pull day. So we got the rings out. I actually found a really good tree that I was able to get it around, and it got a nice lake view. I mean, you can't go wrong with the lake view. You really can't, especially in the summertime, man. Oh, it feels so great. So we're gonna get to doing pole, and I'm telling you that with pole, I will say I think it's one of the hardest days, but also one of the most effective days too, because I feel like a lot of us guys, especially starting out too, but even when you've been doing it for a while, you still kind of have that urge to make it all about chest and arms, right? And chest and arms, don't get me wrong, it's great. I mean, it's like the main thing that really shows that you can really see. But at the same time, if you have a big chest and arms, but you have a small back and you have small legs, then it just doesn't look, it just kind of has a weird kind of look. And plus, even doing pull works out your biceps too. So if you got like, you know, those like really big triceps and you got like super tiny biceps, right? Then it's just not that great. But then, you know, if you got the bicep and the tricep, it makes the whole arm looking really good. So even though pull is one of the hardest days, also one of the most important. I guess they're all important in their own ways, you know. But yeah, you know, just again, back to our talk. When it comes to working out, just go max progress, man. Do as many reps as you can until your body says, hey, I'm done. When your mind's telling you you're tired, don't listen to your mind. Working out's not about your mind. It's about building your body, right? And I mean, and then with that also, it like mental health and building mindset, it all comes along with it too. But you know, body's the focus of it, and the mental health and the mindsets are just bonuses that come with doing workouts overall. So when your mind tells you, hey, I'm tired, keep going. When your body tells you, hey, not I'm tired, but hey, I can't keep going anymore, you can't keep pushing me anymore, then you listen to it. When it comes to working out your body, man, I'm telling you, listening to it is much better than listening to your mind. Because your mind's going to tell you halfway through, I'm tired, and if you listen to it, then you've only made half the progress. Whereas if you keep pushing, even when your mind's saying, hey, I'm tired, and you just keep pushing and giving it your all until your body says, hey, I can't keep doing this anymore, right? Then that's when you stop your set, and then you keep doing that until you can't work out anymore, right? So you're wobbling like jello, or your arms just feel flimsy, like you can't even move them properly, they feel flimsy. You know, when you push the max that you can, when you give it your all, when you do your best, you're going to make max progress. You're going to make your best progress. But if you listen to the fitness influencer that says, hey, 8 reps is the magical number, who's to tell you that you couldn't do 9 or 10? You could have probably done 9 or 10 or maybe even 11 or 12 or more, but because you heard the fitness influencer that said the magical number, 8 reps is the magic number, then you didn't make the max progress because you could have kept going more. And even if the fitness influencer says, hey, 8 reps is the magical number, but you can only do 6, well, now you're going to feel disappointed in yourself, even though you shouldn't, because if you give it your all, I don't care if you do 4 reps or 6 reps or 8 reps or 10 reps or 12 reps, I don't care how many reps you do, if you give it your all, that's all that counts. That's all that matters, because you gave it everything you got. So with your workouts, man, just give it all you got, man. Just give it all you got. No matter how many reps, no matter how many sets you end up doing, just give it all you got until your body says, hey, we're done, right? And that you do that every single workout, man, you're gonna look back and regret nothing. Even if you don't get to exactly where you want to be in X amount of time from now, you're still gonna look back and regret nothing because you gave it your all, and that's all that matters in the end. Just giving it your all. So yeah, let's get to this. I'm gonna be doing different kinds of pull-ups. I'm gonna even try doing what's it called, like a muscle up, where you do the pull-up and then you go into like a dip form and you do that. I've seen this like one of the calisthenic skills, and when you build push and pull enough, then eventually you'll probably be able to do it. So I'm gonna try doing that. Number one, I'm gonna try doing that here. That's number one. Number two, I'm gonna be doing different kinds of pull-ups. I probably couldn't really move the rings where they're at. I can move them up and down for sure, but moving them like side to side would be, I have to take them all off and then put them on again. It's kind of a pain to get up in the beginning anyway. So I'll just be doing different kinds of pull-ups that'll hit your back and biceps, because that's the main thing. You're gonna hit back, biceps, and of course lats, which are underneath. And if you do different kinds of pull-ups between regular grip and reverse grip, close grip, wide grip, you do just different variations of pull-ups, just like you do different variations of push-ups, you're gonna hit your muscles really good. And again, you just keep going, man. You keep going. Act like you're in the dang military when you're doing these workouts, and just keep on going until your body says, hey, we're done. You know, when your body says, hey, we're done with the set, then you give it a little rest, not 10 minutes of playing Candy Crush on your phone, but you give it like a 60, 90 second rest, just a little rest until you can do another set. You don't have to count exact seconds. Then you just keep doing sets over and over until you can't work out anymore. And at least with calisthenics / bodyweight workouts, circuits are definitely the way to go, where you do one workout after another, rather than just doing one and then stopping like you would at the gym. You do like the one set and then you stop, take a little rest, and then do another set. Like the circuits are where you do one workout after another, and then you stop when you pretty much can't do it anymore. But that just comes down to like different variations of pull-ups when I end up making like a pull-up circuit. So let's go. And then these that I'm about to do are called Australian pull-ups, where you're not actually lifting yourself in the air like a regular pull-up, but your feet are still on the ground, but you're kind of at a slant, like halfway laying down slant, and you just pull yourself up and then back down, but while you keep your feet in the ground. And I think they're definitely really good for for kind of keeping that form and that balance. I think they work really, really good. So that's what I like about them. But with the Australian pull-ups, yeah, your feet are on the ground the entire time. Definitely has more of a focus of really hitting your back and your biceps rather than actually lifting yourself up in the air. It's basically like a pull-up, but without actually lifting yourself up in the air. I think they work really good, so I like doing them. I'm gonna tell you something else that's really good. I think this is what makes pull the hardest, because it's kind of the hardest, at least in my opinion, to do. But when you're working out, whatever muscle groups you're hitting, those should really be the only muscle groups that you're moving. So for example, right? So for doing those Australian pull-ups, instead of yanking my body up to where I'm using like the force of my stomach and my legs to kind of yank myself up, right? You should only be using your arms and your back. So even instead of just your arms like that, use your back too. See what I mean? Because you're hitting your back and your biceps. It's like push-ups. Instead of trying to like use your feet to push yourself up, or like try to like yank yourself up with your back or your bottom or something like that. It's like, dude, just use your arms and your chest and give like the extra flex when you're hitting that peak. And when you use only the muscle groups that you're working out while you're working out, you know, it's kind of an interesting concept because a lot of us, we think we're doing that, right? For example, if you're at the gym doing bicep curls, a lot of us think we're just using our biceps, but a lot of us are actually throwing our back into it. I used to do this all the time. But if you just use literally just your bicep to bring the weight up, you're putting all of the force that you can into that muscle, which is going to give it the extra flex. But if you're pulling yourself up, then you're putting some of your force, yeah, into your bicep, but you're also putting some into your back. You're putting some into like the front of your body too. So you're not putting the maximum amount of force in that muscle group because you're using other muscle groups to do the rep. So whatever muscle group you're hitting, make it your goal to literally have it only be that muscle that you're using. So even during the Australian pull-ups, instead of using my whole body to yank myself up, right, I got to use just my back and my arms. So that way, I'm putting 100% of the force that I'm using to pull myself up into the muscle groups that I'm targeting. Therefore, I'm making max progress. Hope you get that. Hope you understand it. But if you do, it helps a lot. And ever since I started doing it, oh yeah, you can definitely feel the burn a lot more, which obviously leads to more growth too. And I'm telling you, man, those rings get hard. And I think what makes them extra hard is the fact that you got to keep your balance. So it's like if you're doing bench pressing at a gym, right? You got to put some of the extra muscle and force into keeping the barbell balance. Whereas if you just do like a machine one, it's balanced for you because it's like aligned, right? And the machine's not shaking like the bar is. It's like with the rings. If you just have a regular pull-up bar, the bar's staying still, man. 100% of your force goes into just the pull-up itself. But when you got the rings, you got to put some force into keeping it balanced, keeping it like, in order to actually, you know, not be swinging all over or being all over the place when you're doing the pull-up. You gotta keep the rings balanced and on point, so that way you're not going like all over like that, right? So it definitely takes some extra force, but it hits extra hard too, and helps you to keep your balance more. So I'm gonna go finish up this workout on my own, and apologies for the you know, unnecessary yelling down there. Don't know who that is, but they're fishing, and don't know why we gotta yell swear words at a fish. Poor fish just wants a little bit of food, man, or just wants to escape being hooked. So, in case you heard that, obviously goal wasn't for that to be in, but it's a little surprise it got in here. So I'm gonna go finish up the workout, and I'll see you for this physique check and a little exploration around here. So see you then. So there was the one time in one of my past videos where I was at this lake, but this is like a cool little spot. I've noticed people having picnics out here more, and then that's when I came to notice that tree with the pretty good branch. You got people fishing down there. It's actually kind of peaceful, right? Because you got this whole stinking huge trail. And then you just have little certain spots, like if you go over to those trees under there, or you could go a little bit back there, or yeah, you got that part there where it is definitely a lot more peaceful because there isn't a lot of people around there, obviously, where everyone's walking the trail and you're just kind of a little bit on that off-road part. And even though it's still right by the trail, still see people coming through, stuff like that, obviously. But you know, when you get the shade and kind of like your own little peaceful area, that's where the peaceful part comes in. And I'm telling you, one of these days I'm gonna have to go fishing down there and kind of do a little fishing vlog, if you will, because I've seen some really cool fish around here, and I have yet to catch one. The only one time that we came here, I came here with my boys, was kind of during the middle of the day, but as you can imagine, the middle of a summer day probably isn't the greatest time to fish. At least not from what I've been told. I've been told it's always the mornings or the later evenings that are the best times to fish. That's what I've been told. And I'm not all that much into the fishing pole itself. Like, yeah, I'll use it, but if I can use a net to catch the fish, that's definitely my preference, you know, if I'm able to. Because number one, you can catch even turtles and frogs with nets too, whereas obviously you can't really do that with the hooks. Like if I were to see a fish like swimming near the shoreline, dip a net in, catch it. And number two, you know, it causes a little bit less harm to the fish, because yeah, I know, you know, fishing is part of life, getting the fish, eating the fish. You know what I mean? I know that even people back in Jesus' time were fishermen too, and you know, Jesus was out there with fish too. But you know, there's been a couple of times where we've caught a fish, but then the hook ends up getting caught so deep where we can't get it out, and then by then it's too late, and we kind of just throw the fish back in, hoping for the best, because we just can't get the hook out no matter how hard you tried. And then I'll see the fish just float ashore and just its lifeless little fish body, and I hate seeing that happen. I hate seeing that stuff happen, man. I hate it. So if I can use a net, that's my preference in terms of fishing. But if I can't, you know, then I'll just make sure I'm extra prepared to you know, get a deep hook out if possible. I'm not the greatest at that. My dad's always been the greatest at that. He's always been great at fishing, and anytime we've gone, he's been the one to really be able to get the hooks out the best. But yeah, if I can catch them with a net, man, that's my preferred way to go. Regardless, I gotta have a time where I go fishing over here and just do a little fishing vlog. And this path is really cool. It's full of all these cool different plants and stuff. So I'll see these cool plants, and I always kind of wonder to myself, what are half these things, man? I'm telling you, God's world is so beautiful. It's so unique. There's so many different things in God's world, and so many different beautiful parts of it. And I can't help but just stop and stare sometimes, even if it's at just like a plant like this. I'll be stopping staring sometimes. Some people will probably just think like, oh, this guy looks kind of nuts. He's just staring at a random plant. But I mean, you know, when you notice God's world and you really soak it in and take it in, right? Take all the stress and worries off your mind. Give it to God like he, you know, tells us to do. Do not fear, do not be afraid. When you take all that stuff out of your mind and you just look around at God's world, and sometimes just the littlest things like all the different lines on a tree trunk or all the different spikes on a plant is, oh, you take in how beautiful it actually is. Man, it's such a great feeling. You really help, but just can't look up at the sky and say like, thank you, God, for letting me be able to experience this and all this beauty. You know, so sometimes I can't help myself. But yeah, this is our workout spot today, man. And this is where I'm gonna be doing, well, actually I did a lap around the lake already before I went to work out. Probably gonna do another one. But if not, then hey, you already know, I'll be back at some points. But yeah, even like a little spot over here, nice and peaceful, right? Nice and peaceful. So this right here, my friend, this is the beautiful spot. All right, let's go back to the car and read a section from the Bible. And from there, that'll be it for the video for today. I may go walk around another lap, may not. See how things go. But from there, that'll be the mission for today. So I will see you at the car. All right, continuing from where we left off last time at Mark 5. They went across the lake to the region of the Gerasenes. When Jesus got out of the boat, a man with an impure spirit came from the tombs to meet him. This man lived in the tombs, and no one could bind him anymore, not even with a chain. For he had often been chained hand and foot, but he tore the chains apart and broke the irons on his feet. No one was strong enough to subdue him. Night and day, among the tombs and in the hills, he would cry out and cut himself with stones. When he saw Jesus from a distance, he ran and fell on his knees in front of him. He shouted at the top of his voice, "What do you want with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? In God's name, don't torture me." In God's name, don't torture me. For Jesus had said to him, "Come out of this man, you impure spirit." Then Jesus asked him, "What is your name?" "My name is Legion," he replied, "for we are many." And he begged Jesus again and again to not to send them out of the area. A large herd of pigs was feeding on the nearby hillside. The demons begged Jesus, "Send us among the pigs. Allow us to go into them." He gave them permission, and the impure spirits came out and went into the pigs. The herd, around about 2,000 in number, rushed down the steep bank into the lake and were drowned. Those tending the pigs ran off and reported this in the town and countryside, and the people went out to see what had happened. When they came to Jesus, they saw the man who had been possessed by the legion of demons, sitting there, dressed and in his right mind, and they were afraid. Those who had seen it told the people that what had happened to the demon-possessed man, and told about the pigs as well. Then the people began to plead with Jesus to leave their region. As Jesus was getting into the boat, the man who had been demon-possessed begged to go with him. Jesus did not let him, but said, "Go home to your own people and tell them how much the Lord has done for you, and how he has had mercy on you." So the man went away and began to tell in the Decapolis how much Jesus had done for him, and all the people were amazed. And we'll leave off there, Matthew 5:21 for next time. And I'm telling you, man, like Jesus has authority over even the demons. Even the demons are scared of Jesus, man. So, hey, whatever demons you're fighting, whatever you're going through in this life, man, this is why Jesus tells us not to be afraid, because we got him. You got him. With him, even the demons, they're the scariest, possible things out there for us humans. Even they're afraid of Jesus. So when you got Jesus, man, there's nothing to ever be afraid of. And whatever demons you're fighting, whatever you're going through, man, whatever demons you got, that you're fighting, hey, man, just call on the name of the Lord. And don't just call on his name, but listen and do whatever he tells you to do. Follow him wherever he tells you to go. Have faith in him, even when the devil is trying to take it away from you. Even when all the demons around you are trying to take away your faith. Hey, keep your faith in him, man. Keep your faith in him. Do what he tells you to do. Go where he tells you to go. And just believe in him and trust in him with everything that you got, and never ever let that go. And no matter what demons you have or what demons you're fighting, hey, Jesus will do his job and take care of them, man. You just got to believe. You just got to have faith. No matter how long it lasts, no matter how hard the battle is, no matter how long the battle lasts, hey, God's got a plan behind everything. And sometimes we wish that Jesus would just take away our demons right now. God would just take away all the demons right now. But sometimes he might be taking them away slowly but surely. Sometimes he might wait a little bit. Sometimes, hey, we don't know God's plan, man. All we got to do is have faith in him and trust in him, no matter what his plan may be, even if we don't know it. Because as Jesus says, you might not understand now what I'm doing, but someday you will, right? So no matter how long the battle is, no matter how hard the battle is, just keep fighting, keep sticking with Jesus, keep fighting that good fight of faith, and never let anyone or anything take away your faith in Jesus. And no matter what demons you have or are battling, no matter what the devil's trying to tell you or trying to do to you, it's Jesus will take care of it, man. God will take care of it. Because he loves you, and that's just how good he is, right? And all you got to do is just stick with him, do what he says, go where he tells you to go. All you got to do is obey and have faith. That's all you got to do, man. Us humans, if we could defeat demons by ourselves, we wouldn't have to rely on God. But we need to rely on God. So instead of trying to defeat all the demons by yourself, hey, call on the name of the Lord, right? And stay by his side. Have faith. Let him do the fighting. Let him take care of what he needs to take care of. And then you just listen to him, whatever he tells you to do. You do your part. You let him do his. And you just obey him and keep your faith in him no matter what. And I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, God will take care of any demons you got. Not only God has the capability to do anything. As God's word says, nothing is impossible with God. So don't ever forget that. Whatever demons you're battling, just call on God, man. Obey him, keep your faith in him, and never let that faith go. And because remember, even the demons are afraid of Jesus. Even the demons are afraid of God. So don't forget that. All right, man. This has been our mission for today. So that being said, now it's your time to go become that great man God is calling you to be. And I will see you tomorrow to continue the mission.